It was the drum build-up.
I'm just kidding. I don't know what what are these? What are these things?
I've never even...
Drumsticks? I don't need an ice cream cone.
I've never even slapped the skins in my life. Hi, everybody. Things are already going wrong, which means it's another episode of FM Rager. I'm your host, Connor Clifton, joined as always by my lovely co-host, Ned Gale. Ned, how the heck are you?
Where are we? Oh, there's a crowd.
Yeah.
That wasn't the crowd. I'm doing great. I had a headache all day today, and it went away like just an hour ago. And I'm feeling on fire right now.
I didn't realize you had a headache.
That's why I was making this face.
Yeah, the rare sighting of a Ned frown.
Yeah, I don't know what it was, the quick change of temperature or something. I just woke up today feeling like shit, and like not in a shitty way, but just like in a shit way.
Right.
I'm sure it makes any sense.
Well, we've hung out for the past week, and I'm sure it had nothing to do with the fact that we haven't had vegetables in 4 days.
I eat like 12 carrots a day.
Okay.
It's a big game for me. I see how many I can fit in my mouth. Which, man, if I had time to look this up beforehand, my friend Hannah and I frequently will challenge each other by just sending a picture of like, here's 12 carrots in my mouth. Can you do better? And then by the end of it, I'm like, Argh.
What's crazy, if I walked in on you doing that, I would not even blink and be like, oh, yeah, can I have some?
I think there's a few things
Spit
in this
4 of
house.
those into my mouth. I want some. All right, this show's getting wacky already. Ned, why don't I go ahead and ask you, how has your freaking week been?
My freaking... Oh, yeah, that's right. We're doing the full week now. My freaking week's been good. It's been pretty good. It rained all last week, which was...
beginning of hurricane season.
Yes, yeah.
Hurricane Hannah has...
passed us.
Yeah.
It missed us.
It missed us barely. But, hey, everyone down in Southeast Texas and Padre Island, thinking about you. Good luck, really. It's crazy that hurricane season is already here, and we're getting ready for it. Are you prepping for the hurricane? Sound off in the chat. Let us know, how do you prep for a hurricane?
Yeah, where are my preppers at?
How do you prep? All right, just tell us.
Prep?
So it rained a lot.
Yeah, and it as I've said on the show several times, I've been biking a ton lately. So to kind of cut that rain, or have all that rain, it really threw off my my new vibe.
When rain prohibits you from taking a bike ride, how do you exercise?
How do I exercise?
Yeah.
I don't.
I have that stationary bike, but it sucks.
I just don't like doing a stationary bike. So bad for, because I ride a bike to go places, like nowhere in particular, but to go. You know what I mean?
Right,
so every time I'm on a stationary bike, I'm like, what the fuck? It's still in the kitchen.
Put a green screen in front of you or something.
Then I just have to edit after that, and it's no longer working out. It's just working. Yeah, no, but otherwise, it was kind of nice. It was a good break on the legs. I'm not like a physically fit person, so it was kind of probably a good idea to take a break from the biking.
The Sunday Sleep is saying technically it's been hurricane season since June.
It's been hurricane season since last hurricane season.
My dad and I hoard stuff, so we're already prepared. Yeah. Well, are you hoarding like newspapers to build an ark out of, or are you hoarding like MREs and water bottles?
Do you also build an ark out of?
Yeah, I mean, you could paper mache an ark, right? What does water do to paper mache?
Make it stronger? I don't know.
Tight.
No.
Damn.
Wait, it might ruin it.
You heard it from Ned first. Build a paper mache boat and nothing bad will happen.
Ever. In any capacity.
Necromancy first said, first wings, now drumsticks. Very funny, very funny. And also said that he buys several Jim Baker survival buckets. Jim Baker is a shuckster, a shyster, and just like an all-around con artist. And speaking of spiritual con artists, this is a perfect segue. Well, we have other stuff going on, but we'll get back to spiritual con artists. First, we got to talk about
what else happened in our weekend.
The Rockets are back, baby.
Oh my goodness!
Rockets.
Wait. Soak it up. Y'all earned this one.
We got to friends of the show, Maddie, Jared, and Cody and I, we all got to watch the Rockets together. It was so fucking fun. We got to see the Mavs versus the Rockets. I texted some of my old college
An
friends.
overtime game.
An overtime
Holy
game.
Shit. Yeah.
First game of the season for the Rockets, overtime game. Down to the wire
Well,
overtime
not
game.
first of the return season. Because this is the middle of the season, right?
Oh,
that
that's right.
NBA returned
First
to.
of their return in the Orlando bubble. That's correct.
Yeah, the returnament.
Yes, the return.
As I'm officially calling it.
I love that.
Call me NBA.
I love that. The returnament. Let's see. Oh, someone's saying there's enough scrap wood in my dad's garage to build an ark. I think at least there's enough power tools to build one. That's all right. We just need to get supplies then. Then Sunday we watched Mission Impossible 3. We're still trucking along in the Mission Impossible franchises. Took us a long time to get to this one because Mission Impossible 2 was so awful.
Mission Impossible 2 was such a drudge. It was tough to get through it. There were some very great moments at the very end that made the movie feel worth it. I can't say if it was actually worth it, but Mission Impossible 3 was nonstop fun for the whole freaking family. We got gadgets, we got jokes, we got explosions. Yeah. It's got everything.
Yeah, J.J. Abrams, it was his first directorial debut for like a feature-length film, and he crushed it.
Yeah.
And as we were talking, that movie came out in the midst of Tom Cruise jumping on couches and being an all-around weirdo. That video of him staring into the camera for Scientology.
Yeah.
That was so that was his like comeback movie, and I can see why.
They had a big, like, a hard time pulling him off the couch for this one, and the only reason he agreed is they told him beforehand that JJ stood for Jumpy Jumpy Abrams.
And so
and that's
after
how you agreed to it.
After the movie, we got
Yeah, what do you got?
After the movie, we got to watch the Rockets versus the Bucks, the Milwaukee Bucks. And that was also down to like the last 1.8 seconds of the game. Very, very fun. Very cool. I didn't realize how much I missed sports, or rather watching sports with Cody and Jared.
Yeah, really?
I don't think I'd enjoy watching them with anyone else other than friends of the show, Cody and Jared. Now, let's pivot into
real quick. We also got we did go to Red Dwarf. James is saying we were spotted at the Red Dwarf opening. Guys, if you remember, we had Sean on here.
Sean Pasha, friend of the show, back when we were at KPFT.
Wow, how fucking long ago was this?
That was a long time ago.
Yeah. So dealing through the pandemic, they've had to push their opening a few times, but they're now officially open. They have food, fantastic drinks. It's in the Mongoose versus Cobra's old spot, but they've redesigned the place. It is fantastic. You should go check it out.
Yeah.
The cold brews are insane. I felt my heart jump out of my body that day.
Oh,
that nitro cold brew.
I took like 4 sips and immediately needed to use the restroom.
Yeah.
It's intense coffee. It's very good though.
My teeth were in my mouth, just kind of like, can we get the fuck out of here? Like, just kind of shaking around.
If I got high, I could guarantee you it would take at least 6 bong hits for me to feel something after drinking that coffee. It's so intense.
But neither of us do, and it's never happened
we don't.
in this show. So.
Canonically, we do not smoke weed. Now, let's move on to the second segment of the show before we can bring on our guest. So we talked to some psychics. Like I said, we talked to some spiritual con men, and we found...
Psychics, sly kicks, all of them.
We found on Etsy with the account The Psychic Art a offer for $11.99. You can have an artist paint draw a drawing, etch a drawing of your future husband, as well as what their personalities would be like. So naturally, Ned and I got them done.
Yes, once again, thank you everyone for donating to our Venmo when these shows are over. This is the dumb fucking shit we spend it on. No, actually, this came out of the personal bank accounts.
We
because this is our future we're talking about.
That and we wasted our budget on wings, so we couldn't afford it.
I can tell them that. Guys, please keep donating. I promise we spend it on like headphone things.
Yeah, we got this mixer. We got shirts and shit. So please donate to our Venmo.
Please.
Now, we are going to read the personalities of our husbands as well as reveal what they look like live.
Did you future husbands, Connor?
Future husbands.
No,
not
current. On the question yet.
Yeah. We're going to reveal what our personalities and appearances of our future husbands are. Ned, who's going first?
I don't know. Should we flip a coin? Neds or tails? Here, I got a bottle cap right here.
All right.
Okay, I'll be the fruit.
The grapefruit?
Yeah.
All right. I'll be the bottoms up.
Okay.
Let's go.
Jeez.
All right, it's grapefruit. Ned,
all right.
You go first.
Okay, cool. So I'm opening my email. I have not seen this picture or read this. Neither of us have opened our emails yet.
Right.
Okay.
What do we got here?
He is enthusiastic. Assertive, energetic, and filled with many ideas on how to grow, start, and promote or expand the ideas which fill his head. He is opinionated and can be very persuasive in getting people to go along with his plans and ideas. Little boy, I just move that right. Okay. He likes dealing with the big picture and has leadership qualities. A need to learn patience and to think before he acts is probable. His tendency to promise more than he can deliver may observe. Tolerance of other people's ideas and viewpoints should be developed. Wait, there's like random periods here. He have the ability to sell things, ideas, material goods, philosophies. Over-optimism, conceit, self-centeredness, false pride, and fanaticism over some cause may be his biggest shortfalls with this position. He loves to be in an isolated place rather than a place full of crowd. The relationship he will share from his soul. If he will fall in love, he can bring mountains to have the love and sustain it. His hair are dark and his eyes are light brown. Ladies and gentlemen, my husband looks just like me.
His personality sounds like me.
It looks like fuck, who's that voice actor at work? It looks like well, I won't say anybody's name.
Yeah, I know exactly who you're talking about, but I'm not going to say it. And if you work with us, do not sound off in the chat.
Do not sound in the chat.
All right, I will read personality.
Okay, I'll keep mine up. Actually, I'm going to put mine over my face, so it looks like I am my future husband.
Okay. All right. Here's the personality of my husband. He have an intense yet hidden emotional nature, and he craves intense emotional experiences. He is very volatile and like a volcano. One minute he seems quite peaceful, and the next he is exploding with great force and unexpected fury. The intensity of these reactions often surprises even him. He tends to be emotionally fanatical about the people and things he is about. At times his feelings and desires can be so overwhelming that he does things against his own better judgment and reason. He has the tendency to be very manipulative and controlling, often in a most subtle way. He likes wielding his power. His personal relationships are very emotional, passionate, and often stormy and painful as well. There can be feelings of jealousy and possessiveness which threaten to ruin all his partnerships. He must get these feelings under control. Likewise, there may be very compulsive or obsessive behavior or desires in his relationships, either exhibited by him or her partner. All right, Ned, why don't you go ahead and show me what my future husband looks like.
Hold that up. I gotta hide this one so you guys can't see all the emails I don't answer. 1 second. All right, we are pulling up Connor's future husband. Right, where the fuck is it? Oh my god. Did we email each other twice today? What's happening? Oh.
No.
I scrolled down.
Let me see.
Boom.
Let me see. What the fuck?
He's cute.
I don't like his hair.
What? Looks good.
Well, I don't know.
You prefer a middle part?
I just don't really dig his vibe. I don't know, man. He looks like a fucking NPC.
NPC?
Yeah.
Look at the amount. Wait, we need to make the eyes bigger. That's why. You're not seeing the truth in the eyes. Look at that.
Hello, my future husband.
I don't know. I don't know about that guy, man.
Did you ever see that old website? This is like old net. There was like some kid's Yahoo website, and it was like a kid with a mullet, and there was an audio recording that would play that would go, "Hello, my future girlfriend." Do you remember that shit?
Yeah. What do I have here? He kind of looks like the Christmas Prince. Is he hot? Is the Christmas Prince hot?
Which one's the Christmas
Look,
Prince?
I'm a queer dude, and I just don't find this guy attractive at all. Like, he is not hitting any of my what, bells, chimes? Basically, I'm getting nothing off this guy. He just kind of looks like a dunderhead. He looks like the best thing you could say about him is that he's nice.
Nick said
Which, according to my personality, is true, because he sounds like an asshole who will hit me.
Nick says he looks like Captain America. I can see that.
Yeah.
What's that actor's name?
It's not necessarily Chris Evans, but I would say like a fan film.
He's got big Chris Evans vibes.
Congrats on getting Edward Cullen as your future hubby. Yeah. Call me Team Edward. All right.
Wait. Who does mine look like? You guys didn't do mine.
Somebody said, "Wow, swoon, emo Kano."
I'll take it.
Look, we got to get our guest on, so we're gonna show you a quick little video about when trying to be a psychic goes horribly wrong.
You hate to see it.
Tara Margolis claims she has a special gift to see spirits, read thoughts, and predict the future.
She says everyone has this power. You just need to know how to tap into it. Her new book is called Discover Your Inner Wisdom, Using Intuition, Logic, and Common Sense to Make Your Best Choices. So are you one of the psychics that you look at people and you can read things about them? Can you sense anything about me?
May I read for you?
Sure.
Okay,
Yeah.
I need you to be open-minded about everyone living and deceased. Do you know the names of people deceased and living, grandparents, parents? Okay, I see an M or J person. Do you have somebody, family, that is a J or an M?
I don't.
Yes, you do. Duh.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
Is it a J or M? M. Is it a male or female M? I don't know.
Female.
Is it spelled M-A?
Yeah.
R?
Yeah.
Like Mary?
Yeah.
Is that your mom?
As my daughter.
Or it's your daughter?
Your daughter's okay, isn't she?
Yeah, I mean,
Wait,
I don't know what
she's
they're
living. But is there another Mary or Marie deceased or middle name like this from your husband's side?
No.
Okay, I think there may be. But anyway, is she starting a new project or a new after-school something or a new...
I don't know what my daughter's doing.
We don't talk very much anymore.
Have you met her?
That's not good. And
Maybe I should shift you over to Larry.
Yeah.
and does she? And I'm
Dean,
seeing.
go ahead.
Yeah.
Is there? Does she have a boyfriend?
She's only 6.
She's only 6. Okay.
I let you know.
Okay, I mixed up about. Okay, I didn't know how old she was. I do communicate with the spirit world. Who's the little boy that she's friends with then? There's a little boy that she's very close to. I feel he's like a J, or is there like an?
I don't know any of her friends. No, I don't. I don't
Okay.
know. I don't know which little boy she's friends with at school.
Sure. If this is, okay, everybody's got intuition, everybody's
Yeah.
got a hunch, big
my
deal.
fault.
But if you
Right.
say, hey, I've got this amazing ability to read minds and
I
see
don't.
things
Okay,
or
now
whatever,
that's
what
what
can
I
you
don't do. I
Okay.
don't read minds.
Okay.
What I do is I communicate with the spirit world.
Yeah.
And I also help people prevent problems and attain goals by using, helping them use their intuition.
Okay, so how do you explain you failing miserably here to predict
Well,
the
that's
ground?
part of my fault. That's part of my fault,
But I
Larry.
picked up on Mary. I said it's her
Yeah, yeah.
daughter. When I was 5 years old, I had a boyfriend.
Yeah.
Yeah, didn't you?
I don't know.
So
Well, you didn't say Mary, you said an M or a J. I mean,
Yeah, but-
I got an M and a J in my family. You got an M and a J in your
Isn't
family?
Mary the most common girl name?
He's
also?
not open to experience.
you know what? We're
He's
skeptical.
very closed-minded. What do you say to people
Right.
that are closed-minded? They think
well, you're allowed to be closed-minded.
Okay.
You're allowed to, but
Do most people react to you that way, though, and say, we just don't believe it?
No, most people are very respectful and and really nice about it, except for Larry.
Well, you failed.
You know what, Larry? Here's the deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to read for you.
Yeah.
We'll do this off camera.
Yeah.
If you allow me to read for you.
Sure.
And then I'll come back on this show.
Okay.
And you will be the one to decide if what you feel is truth or not
Okay.
with the reading. Now,
I hope you hit it out of the park as well
but
as you did
need
here
to-
today.
You need to be honest, though.
Okay,
He
I'm
needs to
happy
be
to.
honest. He needs to open up his
Yeah,
mind. I've
and
been saying this
you
for
need to be
years.
open-minded, and you know what? You need to be kind to people.
Oh,
Yes.
ooh, peace
Thank
on
you.
earth.
Always fun to watch the local news, huh, Ned?
Yes, I agree.
Yes. All right. Let's go ahead and bring out your guest for today. I'm very excited. Your guest today is a Detroit-based writer, music journalist, and contributing editor to Maggot Brain magazine, which is published by Third Man Records. Everyone, please give a warm welcome to Ana Gavrilovska. Hey, Ana, thank you so much for coming onto the show. How are you today? Oh,
I'm good. You surprised me with throwing up those maggot brains. That was cool to see.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I got Ned a subscription for Christmas, your birthday.
I think Christmas last year. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been fun.
Oh, cool.
So I want to jump right into this. The meat of the show, we talk about parties. So, Ana, do you remember the first party that you attended?
I tried really hard to think about the very first party, and I can't.
Whoa.
I have a few, no, I have no idea what the first party was.
Now, remember, the first can also be like a birthday party you attended as a kid or something. Like, it doesn't necessarily have to be a rager or anything.
My. So my family was all about birthday parties all the time, and there's in my family photo archives there's a million pictures of birthday cakes. So I guess the childhood birthday was my first party. But I went to high school in what's the word I'm looking for? 2 hours out of the city.
Okay.
So there was nothing to do but party. So there's a lot of really bad parties from high school and right after high school.
Did you guys have any specifically rural party things you would do? My dad grew up in Louisiana, and he would have these swamp parties. And he told me that one time his friends kept inviting everyone to a zilch party. They're you guys got to come out to this zilch party. Everyone's got to come out to the barn. Friday night, we're doing a zilch party. You guys ready for this zilch party? Everyone gets to the party, and someone just lights a plastic milk bottle on fire, and it melts, and it makes a sound that just goes, zilch. And the guy was like, all right, get out. Which I think is so funny.
That's pretty good.
That sounds like my kind of party. My kind of party for sure.
Heavily themed parties just for the bit.
One of our things. Oh, what's that?
Oh, I said heavily themed parties just for the bit. What were you saying?
Yeah, I was just gonna say that the woods. There were a lot of woods where we were, so there were a lot of parties in the woods, just at unbuilt areas, just outside the subdivisions. So it was you didn't have to go too far, but a lot of big fires. And sometimes naked jumps over the fires. So it was that kind of those kinds of parties.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Sounds like Renfest down here.
Yeah.
So nowadays, what would you say is your party style? How do you prefer to party?
So the way that I thought about this was if I go to a party, I'm the person who is immediately looking for where the weed is, or I brought my own. But more so, I didn't have any, and I'm looking for someone to have.
Or you brought your own, and you're like, maybe I could find someone else first. Yeah.
Well,
yeah, exactly.
As Ned and I mentioned previously, we have canonically never smoked weed before, so don't look for us if you ever come to a party and need to get some pretty bonkers shit. Now, I'm going to assume, I could be wrong here, but I don't want to assume that you were smoking weed in middle school. And my normal question here is, how has your party style changed from middle school to high school to now?
Middle school, there was no party. I was, I'm very introverted, so going to parties is pretty draining, but I still like being around people and my friends, for the most part. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I bring books to parties. I go stand in the corner and so I can get the vibe of being around people without having to talk to them.
Big into that. I'm big into sucking up a vibe of a show or something and just be like, bye.
I think what I should do is just start carrying a Zoom recorder around at a party, get enough ambient sound for 2 hours, never go to a party again, and just put that on and sit on a couch.
Yep. You could. That's just now's the time. Put out a record.
Yeah.
home party noise.
So sorry.
No, you go ahead. I was just going to talk about how I didn't do anything in high school.
Well, like you said, you did a lot of parties in the woods. I assume that was high school. What about beyond high school?
So that was end of high school and a little bit after high school. Beyond high school, I went to Michigan State for a year, which is a huge party school, and I fucking hated it. Never got drunk. I read the most books in my life that I ever have that one year. So then I left there and came back home, and I went to Wayne State, which I could commute to. So then I was just back with the same people I went to high school with. So it was just like hanging out with the same people for another 10 years. And now after I met my boyfriend, his friends are like, I kind of hang out more with them now. We've been together for 10 years, so they're my friends too. But so it's like, I don't know, small gatherings of people.
That's
that
great.
I try not
That's
to feel
great.
so
I think there's nothing
around.
better than a tight like party squad that you can just always kind of count on.
I rely on that. Like you were saying that you're an introvert. I'm a bit of an introvert myself. Shallow socializing makes me wildly depressed. So a party, I know I host a party show, but an actual party makes me just so anxious. And I tend to only go to parties either at my house or my neighbor's house. Because if they're at my neighbor's house, I can get everyone over to the bonfire and then sneak back into my room and not have to deal
Go
with
to bed.
anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can totally relate. But like you said, the party squad, our key group of friends are reliably just the most fun people I can ever hang out with. Like I was saying, I don't think I missed watching the Rockets so much as I missed watching it with two particular friends of ours, and that's what that's what I miss. So let's get away from parties and get more into other stuff that I wrote down here. Shut up.
Into the next bullet point.
Yeah. All right. So you have a lot of different internet interests, from Food Doodz to reading on screen. Two different things you post a lot about on Instagram. What inspires you to document and curate the content that you do?
Existing in life, I can't not do it, is kind of how I feel. I feel that way about everything. I don't know, I don't believe in guilty pleasures. I don't believe in doing things like everything I do, I feel like I can't not do it. But the Food Doodz, actually, I have one with me right here. I don't know if you can see them on this cup. There's a bagel. But anyway, they're just everywhere. And when you start noticing them, and then I just got excited. And I was just seeing them everywhere. I was seriously going, when I first felt so I actually tell the Food Doodz story. I was working at an auto parts store, which is weird. And I was stocking stuff, and they had air fresheners. And on the air freshener, there was a lemon and an orange, and they had their heads back, and they had sunglasses on, and they were just hanging out. And those were the first Food Doodz that I ever really noticed myself, and I posted them, and then somebody tagged Food Doodz, and then I clicked on it, and I was like, oh my god, there's a weird community here.
There's a whole here.
And
Let me
then
pull
I just
that up for everyone.
posting them all the time because I used to see them constantly. I used to actually go to the grocery store just to look for Food Doodz.
You have definitely. I think I started following you on Instagram 4 or 5 years ago, specifically because of Food Doodz. And since then, I've just been seeing them. I never thought to look for them. And we live kind of in a working class area, so there's just so many knockoff and rip-off and bootleg Muppets at daycare centers and shit like that. We just drive around. I mean,
our commute is about 30 minutes every day, and the amount of food trucks and small businesses where you see these one-off, someone's cousin probably drew this for the company because they're like, yeah, he draws, and it's it's so good.
My favorite, very clearly hired a family member for graphic design, has been this plumbing company here it's an energy company here in Houston, and their motto is just a guy in a energy outfit, but he's very clearly Dragon Ball Z. So he's got the Akira Toriyama eyes and everything.
That's awesome.
So
if you see that, you should take a picture and send me.
You got it. I will send it along.
With Food Doodz, we've talked about this a lot of does a food dude always have to be necessarily food? Or is it something advertised. So we eat at Tacos La Bala all the time.
Right.
Tacos La Bala has a pretty big food dude in the front. La Bala is Spanish for the bullet. So it's a bullet holding two guns, ironically, wearing a sombrero. And I don't know if he has any taco stuff around him, but I'd consider him a food dude because he's advertising the food. What would you say?
So, funny you should ask because because yeah, right. It's like slowed down a little bit in the past few years, but at the height of this dude's thing, we had like different hashtags for different categories. So like this character I would describe as a not food dudes, which is any kind of dude that's not food, that's a food dude.
Okay.
Like the HEB buddy, which is just a sack of groceries.
That's mini food.
Okay, all right.
But it has to have a face. I mean, it has to be a dude.
Yeah.
That's the main thing. And this character probably also counts as a spokes dude, which is like a dude that is a spokesman for a company.
So Quaker oatmeal, that's not a food dude. That's a spokes dude.
Exactly. If you wanted to take it that far, there were some people who were like, "This is too much. Like, you got to draw the line. It's just food dude."
Okay.
But
so this conversation's kind of reminding me of that "is a hot dog a sandwich" fight that the internet collectively has like every 6 months. Did you get deep into that? Or did
conversation about the hot dog?
Yeah. Or were you like, this is fucking stupid. I'm sticking to food dudes.
I hadn't heard of it.
Oh man,
right.
you're about to get Connor started.
No.
I watched Connor break his hat one time because someone told him lasagna was a sheet cake, and he agreed so hard that his hat exploded.
I did. That did happen. I threw my hat, and it just, yeah, kind of embarrassing. I had never heard that before. It was genius.
It truly is. I don't disagree with it.
Okay.
Well, I mean,
so,
wait, but so, do you think a hot dog is a sandwich?
yes.
Well, okay.
I do. I think a
I
sandwich.
don't.
Well,
If you rip the bun apart, then it becomes a sandwich. The bun being connected.
Now, an
Makes it not
open-faced
a
sandwich is usually connected in the back. Connor's driven this into my head several times because I agree with you. I don't think it's a sandwich.
yes, like a sub sandwich is technically connected. So I think
Jimmy
that
John's.
I think it's a subset. Yeah. Oh wow, I can see you the light bulb going off and also rolling its eyes. Like, why did I agree to humor him?
You're right about music. You can't be bad about subgenres. Let's be fair here.
Let's get into writing about music. So you are a music journalist. You've written extensively for various publications in Detroit and alternative weeklies and stuff like that. What led you down the road to music journalism?
Not intentionally. I have a friend who has a label out here. They're called X Records. Check them out. He hasn't released anything in a little while, but there's a small release list, and they're all great, like Detroit weirdo punk. And so I wanted to do something to help him with the label. And the last records he released were in 2016, and I was like, I could write press release, but I could do something for him. And one of the bands, I reached out to him just to like talk to him about the music, and he was like, the Metro Times, which is our alt weekly that I used to write a lot more for, they were like, someone had reached out to him to do an interview, so he was like, you should just do it instead. So he hooked me up with them, and then when I met their music editor, who at the time, he's the guy who now is the music editor for Magabrain. So he read my stuff, and he read like three pieces that he published without paying me, and then after the fourth one, he started paying me. Sick. And then I was just like writing for them for the next like 2 years. I was like writing pretty consistently.
Damn, that's awesome.
And I for a long time, I felt like this just happened, and I didn't really work for it. But the flip side of that is like everything I do is like some kind of work towards something that I hope would be related to music or writing. So it's, it is.
Yeah,
It's
it sounds
cool.
like it worked out in kind of a
I'm happy
cosmic
about
way.
Oh, wait, I got a question here in the chat. Okay, this is a Food Dude related question from our friend Nick, who's quite an immature little child right now. Where does the poop emoji figure into the dude caste system?
I wouldn't call it that because everyone is the same. They're all equal. Equal dudes. No
All
caste
food dudes
system.
are equal. Yeah, I guess are emojis food dudes? Fuck.
I mean, dogs eat shit.
This show eats shit.
Someone could, but not food dudes.
Calling it. All right.
All right.
That's where I'm on.
Oh, well, he offered chewed food dude.
Oh,
I like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that as CHOOD FOOD DOD.
Exactly. Right in the aesthetic.
So we've had some writers on the show recently, and we've had people who basically their hobby, their interests, their things that they do have been seriously impacted by COVID-19. Houston's a little different than I imagine where you are, but I still want to ask, how has the pandemic affected how you gather information and write stories?
So one major thing, the music industry, there is no live music industry anymore. And a big part of the Alt Weekly revenue stream is not just writing about live music, but also advertising live events. So my last story for the Metro Times was in February, right before the pandemic. And I was writing less for them anyway, just because their budget's not great and I would like to get paid. But so after the pandemic, I mean, their editor-in-chief took 100% pay cut to keep the paper running. Damn. So they don't have there's nothing that they can only do their essential stuff. There's no trying to squeeze in kind of music, anything from anyone, other than their core staff of 3 people that they have. So that's one thing that's just gone. And I'm very fortunate because that's not my job. I have a day job that was unaffected. So that's one thing. But the flip side of it is that because I've been at home a lot more and stuck online a lot more, I've finessed how I consume information. So I feel like and I haven't been hearing about music as well. No, I don't know. I kind of completely lost my train of thought as I was talking right now. Let me start over. Yeah. So I feel like I've gotten better at consuming news because there's so much of it. I really want to control what I'm reading. Mm-hmm. So I know Ned, I heard you talk about your email before. I have 0 unread emails right now.
What?
So that's what I did during the pandemic was I cleaned my email and I organized it so that I could use email to consume my news.
I'm at 12,000 right now.
Oh God!
Yeah. And it's stuff I know when I'm at 0, and it's when I'm at 12,008 is when I have.
Yeah, totally.
I'll never be at 0 because I can't get rid of the emails that I promised myself I would read. They contain articles from 8 years ago that I gotta get to.
I know exactly that feeling, and I was just it's done.
It's done.
This.
Man.
Damn. A lot of respect for that.
You get this one.
Yeah. Now, I'm very curious. Houston and Texas is politically different from Michigan and is a lot of liberty's a big deal here. So Texas is kind of not doing so great in the pandemic. I just want to ask, how is it up there? We still have people going to restaurants. We had like bars open up really quick, and that did not go over so well. How have y'all
Open
been
and
doing?
back closed.
Yeah, I think it was like, what, 2 or 3 weeks?
Yeah.
So we were pretty serious for like March through June, and most people were staying inside and, you know, limiting as much as possible, even though there is actually like, we're a small, like, I guess, liberal area of the state, but Michigan is very conservative. And it's like, if I go to the place that I went to high school in, like, that's Trump country. I mean, it just everybody. So now those people are out and about doing anything they want, not wearing masks. I mean, it sounds fairly similar. And we're having like different, like they were supposed to do a rollout of things opening, and then they had to roll it back. And it's just like going back and forth between people not being able to do very simple things for the health and safety of others.
Yes.
We had a phased rollout. So they had like phase 1 is restaurants. Phase 2, our phase 2, or was it phase 3? One of the phases was water parks, which is just insane to me because you're just like flowing germs straight down.
We've got, I mean, I know Michigan has the lakes, but Galveston is such a economic boon for the whole state. And we also have this guy, we have this guy, Tillman Fertitta. What a piece of shit. He's just this, like, billionaire in Texas who owns Landry's and Bubba Gump Shrimp Company. He's going to have a reality show. I think it got canceled, thank God. But he's just like, I just really don't like him. And because of him, Galveston opened up for Memorial Day, and he really wanted it to open back up for July 4th. And they're like, no, everyone's kind of dying and getting sick. But we've got, just like a very concentrated amount of very powerful business people in Texas who are like, no, open up.
Yeah.
And it's, ugh. I'm sure it's the same everywhere.
The one like nice thing about Michigan is that at least our governor is a Democrat who believes in all the science of everything. Like our previous governor, Rick Snyder, he basically orchestrated the Flint crisis. So it's just, if he was our governor now, I don't know what the fuck this would be like.
Yeah, I miss Democratic governors. I don't think we've had one since Ann Richards in the 90s.
Oh.
From the state that brought you George W. Bush and Rick Perry, here's Greg Abbott. This sucks. I don't want to talk about the government. I shouldn't have asked. I'm sorry. We once spoke quite briefly about Christian hell houses. You and I exchanged some emails, and you gave me a bunch of research on that. Because you and I and Microstate, our old sketch troupe, we were thinking about putting on a hell house. We wanted to design it and finance it, and I just wanted to ask you, what has your experience been with hell houses? Because a lot of people don't even know about them in America.
So again, where I grew up, there's a pretty Christian conservative area, or where I went to high school, fairly Christian conservative area, and I just like heard about this. Well, I don't really like haunted houses necessarily. That's not really my thing. But I heard about this one, and then when I like looked at what it was actually about, I realized that it was a hell house. I realized it wasn't a regular haunted house. So I was like, oh yeah, I'm fucking going for this.
What was the giveaway where you're like, wait a second?
Well, the church was putting it on.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah, pretty telling.
It wasn't obvious immediately from like the flyer, but then like I just had to look, put on by whatever. So I got my friend Felix, and we went to the Hell House, and we waited outside in a line for a long time. And I remember they were playing. I have a lot of details because I was like taking notes because I thought I was going to write something about it, and I never did. Maybe I still will, but I remember hearing Purple People Eater, and I remember hearing like weird rock music that I thought was like inappropriate for a Hell House. Or I guess maybe appropriate, but they didn't mean it in that way.
Yeah.
It was just like, something fun to listen to while we waited. So then,
this will bring the kids in.
Yeah. So we finally got in, and it was like a very normal haunted house. Like there was nothing about it that seemed too religious, except for there was like a brief moment at the beginning where there was something that seemed like it must have been staged, and it was like someone coming to the Hell House, like a guest, and they were arguing with the person who was our guide, and then they were like strung on the wall or something. Like something happened to the person who was arguing, so it was like, don't argue, follow the rules. And then it was like very standard haunted house. You were just walking through a bunch of rooms, and then it was just like dark and weird lights, and people are screaming and moaning. And I remember like a kid running around, like a child running around screaming, "Don't touch me," or something like that. Like I remember a kid screaming about being touched or not being touched, and I was like, okay. And then finally we got to the like the hell room, and there was like a man playing Satan, and he had like a pitchfork, and it was like dark, and they didn't like talk too much. And then you went through the Satan room, and then you were in this like weird hallway where people were like pulling, like hands were coming out. And then finally when you made it through that hallway, you were in heaven. And it was like tall pillars and like white clouds, and like there was a very sweet little old lady who handed me the church pamphlet. and yeah, then we left, and I was just like, what just happened?
That sounds very similar to our experience with the Hell House, where the plot of it was like a play with different rooms being different scenes, and all of the roles were played by different actors for each room. And what it was about was this group of girls. One of them was kind of like liking boys and wanted to date, and she met this older guy who ended up being one of the girls
on the internet.
Yeah, on the internet, who ended up being a much older man who was a dad of one of her friends. So they meet up at a pizza place. She recognizes him or something.
First she goes to the restaurant and sees her friends there who are just at a Jesus rock concert, to which she tells them, "Jesus schmeezus." So you already know something very bad's about to happen.
Yeah.
She sees the dad, and the dad gives her a Coke with something in it. You see him slip something in it, and then she freaks out
and
tries to run away.
A cop shows up who's played by the oldest fucking guy in the church. They're just like, "Wait, stop in the name of the law." Like he God love him. They gave him that line.
He's played by the Tabernacle.
Yeah. And then he shot at the guy, hits the girl. She goes to hell because she said Jesus schmeezus. And this guy goes to death row, repents on the electric chair, and goes to heaven, which is full of kids.
Yeah. So we got to go see her burn in hell at some point.
Which was the coolest room in the whole thing.
Very cool. They clearly got all the bullies at church to be the fucking demons.
And they put all they had like a fog machine and like, what was it, like liquid smoke kind of smell. So you really thought you were in hell. It was so cool.
Yeah.
But then they asked us to sign a wall and like agree to join the church. And only 3 people in our sketch group went, so we put the names of everybody else who didn't go.
Yeah, so thank us later, John Wayne and Billy. You're saved.
Now, we're getting low on time here, so I definitely want to play this game that we created for you.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Now, Ana, you have very many interests and hobbies, and you love to research. So we want to ask you, Ned,
do you know shit about the shit you know about?
That's right. We have developed a trivia game based on topics that we know you are a fan of. Your categories are war stories, ghost etiquette, mermaid mannerisms, and food dudes.
Let's go with ghost etiquette.
Okay.
All right, ghost etiquette for 400.
Okay. Colonel Jonathan Buck was one of the founders of Bucksport, Maine. Buck became convinced that a young woman in the town was a witch. Some accounts say she was his mistress, and sentenced her to death. Her very last words to the colonel were a vicious curse. She swore that she would what for all eternity? And I'm also prepared to give you a hint for any of these questions.
I'll take that hint.
Okay. Teens tend to do this at sock hops. Or balls. Or proms. Dance, yes. The answer was dance on his grave for all eternity.
Wait, I got a picture right here of the tombstone.
Oh yeah, his tombstone actually has a scuff on it that a water stain that looks like a foot, and so people think that she's been fulfilling the curse all this time.
Dancing ever since.
All right, that's question 1. You have 3 left. War stories, food dudes, or mermaid etiquette.
Let's go with the mermaid one.
Okay. Oh crap! Hang on, I left it on the table.
Oh, that table's so far away. Okay,
I got it. Okay. There are 2 prominent mermaids in Hawaiian mythology, Hina and Mokuna. They are A, sisters, B, rivals, C, business partners, or D, lovers.
Rivals?
Yes, that is correct.
Oh.
I got a mermaid right here. Which one did you say this was?
That's Hina.
Hina. I like her. I like her vibe.
All right. 2 more questions. War stories and food dudes.
Oh, yeah, let's go with war stories.
War stories. Here we go. Speaking of hobbies, did you know that Hobby Lobby inadvertently funded international terrorism? While attempting to gather artifacts for their Museum of the Bible, Hobby Lobby found themselves in the center of a lawsuit alleging that they had bought artifacts which were illegally smuggled out of modern-day Iraq by the Islamic State of Iraq and the Levant, or ISIL, aka ISIS. What was the name of that court case?
I actually know about this, but I have no idea.
I told you. I told Ned, I was like, I guarantee you she's going to know about this.
I think the next one is going to be the one that she knows immediately.
Yeah. All right. It's incredibly long, so we can just go ahead and tell you if you want.
Please, yeah.
The United States of America versus approximately 450 ancient cuneiform tablets and approximately 3,000 ancient clay bullae. And there's the legal court document proving that that is the name of the case. Will it go to the Supreme Court? Only America will decide. Okay, now for your final question, food dudes. In 1973, iconic American fast food chain McDonald's faced a lawsuit from Sid and Marty Krofft, which claimed that noted food dude and wickedly cruel despot Mayor McCheese was a blatant ripoff of which American children's show character?
Who said the lawsuit, or who made this claim?
Sid and Marty Krofft, Krofft.
So, like, Puff and Stuff, or...
That's correct! HR Puff and Stuff! Now show up the comparison photo, Ned.
Yeah,
it's terrifying.
Right here.
Who's more terrifying, HR Puff and Stuff or Mayor McCheese? Sound off in the chat. Do let us know.
It's definitely Puff and Stuff. Those eyes are horrifying.
Oh, man, I'm glad I didn't look at the chat. Everybody was making guesses. Okay, so that wraps up our interview questions. We have one final segment here before we wrap up the show. Ned, is the song ready?
Yep, here it is.
One moment.
I know you like music, but this is music. Here we go.
What?
I want a new plug. Tell us what's going on. Tell us all the stuff you're doing after we sing this song. Anna, what would you... Oh, it looks like you're not enjoying it. Do you have anything that you would like to plug?
No, not really, other than Maggot Brain. Check that out. I have a really big story on the album Maggot Brain coming out in the next issue.
Ooh. Cool.
Yeah, and guys, seriously, check out Maggot Brain. These are super thick. They're full of so many fantastic articles. The first article in this one is you, the I forgot the name of the band. Les Feles. Oh my god, I've been listening to it so much. It's beautiful vocals, and the guitar playing's insane.
Yeah. So beautiful.
Yeah, I
So
highly
beautiful.
recommend this. Man, speaking of Food Dudes, you had that Detroit sign painter in here as well. That was a great interview.
Okay.
Yeah.
I should just talk to him today.
Excuse me?
What was that?
I just randomly talked to him today. I haven't talked to him in a while.
Nice.
Well, I'd also like to plug your Instagram, Reading on Screen.
Yeah.
Ned, go ahead and pop up her her social medias.
Plugs here.
Yeah, we got all your social medias on here. Twitter, Instagram, and your other Instagram. Real quick, can you tell us about Reading on Screen?
Yes, I actually just, it started with The Sopranos, just like we were watching The Sopranos, and I noticed that there were more books on the show than I realized. And then, same like Food Dudes, I just started seeing them and everything. And I was like, well, I looked on Instagram and Reading on Screen was not taken, so I was like, all right, here we go. I'm just obsessed with books, and I like, that whole thing, so.
Go check it out. It's a fun way to build an internet community. Since I've been watching TV shows, I'm trying to find people that are reading, and I always forget to take a screenshot because I am, I'm not stoned. I'll say that. All right. That's going to be our show. As always, follow me at CryptoCurrency on Instagram and Twitter. We had a lot of fun doing our Wednesday live stream. We're going to do more stuff like that. We finally fixed the PS4 bullshit. So, Ned, what do you have to plug?
Yeah. Follow us on Twitch. Make sure you're sticking around because we'll be around more than just Mondays now. I'm at Ned of the Dead on everything. Guys, if you're following Swimwear Department, we're about to put out a new music video. If you're part of the email list, you already got that music video. Props to you guys. You guys need to sign up for the swimming hole. Guys, Matt writes a lot of really interesting stuff.
Your newsletter is called The Swimming
Our newsletter
Hole?
is called The Swimming Hole. I play in a band called Swimwear Department. We only sing songs about pools and malls, nothing else. And I'm very... So check that out. Join The Swimming Hole. Check out the new music video. And that's all I got to plug.
All right. Bye, y'all. See you next week.
All right. Thanks, Anna.
Thanks, Anna.
Me.